Welcome back, folks. It's Monday, February 19th, 2024. Now, born on this date in 1967, actress Cynthia Bailey of Decatur in Tuscumbia. Also on this date in 1807, former Vice President Aaron Burr was arrested near the Tom Bigby River in what is now Alabama. At the time, it was part of the Mississippi Territory. He was charged with treason. That's unrelated to the Hamilton duel. He was acquitted later, but it ended what was left of his political prospects. And one more calendar item from just a little bit outside the state. It's now been a year since former President Jimmy Carter entered into hospice care. Of course, he lost former First Lady Rosalind Carter during that time. End-of-life caregivers have pointed out that Carter is not an extreme case and that using hospice care doesn't necessarily mean you're working with a really short timetable. The Carter family issued a release that said the former president is still at home. It did not make it clear whether he remains under hospice care at this time. Sometimes a patient's condition stabilizes and it can lead to a discharge. Today we have Friday's deadly day in Birmingham, the state high court ruling on an embryo case, and a really young American Idol contestant. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Friday was a rough one in Birmingham, with 6 more names added to the city's list of homicide victims, reports AL.com's Carol Robinson. Now, around 2:45 p.m. in the Smithfield neighborhood, at least 39 shots were fired in what police believe was a targeted drive-by shooting that killed 4 friends in their 30s. A little over an hour later, 2 bodies were found in an alley in the Inslee neighborhood. The victims were later found to be a couple that had been missing since Valentine's Day. It's believed they were on their way to a movie date. They were both 20 years old. The woman was pregnant, according to the family, and Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin said one of them was his cousin. The 6 homicides gave Birmingham a total of 15 for the year. One of those has been ruled justifiable. The Alabama Supreme Court has ruled that 3 couples can sue over the destruction of their frozen embryos, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. According to the lawsuit, a patient at Mobile Infirmary Medical Center was able to access the cryogenic storage area, remove the embryos in their extremely cold containers, and then drop them. A lower court had ruled to dismiss the case, arguing that Alabama's Wrongful Death of a Minor Act doesn't cover embryos outside the womb. The state's high court reversed that decision, wrote Justice J. Mitchell, quote, "The Wrongful Death of a Minor Act is sweeping and unqualified. It applies to all children, born and unborn, without limitation. It is not the role of this court to craft a new limitation based on our own view of what is or is not wise public policy. That is especially true where, as here, the people of this state have adopted a constitutional amendment directly aimed at stopping courts from excluding unborn life from legal protection." An Alabamian is on his way to Hollywood to compete in American Idol, reports AL.com's Lawrence Specker. Now, there's nothing new about that. Alabama's been well represented with contestants, finalists, and champions on the popular TV talent show. But this one is young, even by American Idol standards. Tristan Harper is a 15-year-old from McIntosh in Washington County and is affiliated with the MOA Band of Choctaw Indians. He punched his ticket to Hollywood after singing Jason Isbell's Cover Me Up and receiving unanimous yes votes from judges Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan. Now, how young is 15? Well, Alabama's last Idol champion, Taylor Hicks, won his title a couple years before Harper was born. That's today's old-timer math for the old-timers. Thank y'all so much for listening. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, y'all come on by and see what we're doing on the internet at al.com.